This video covers the second part from the 30 Years' War, which lasted from 1629 to 1648. After the Danishes withdraw from the conflict in 1629, Protestantism was under an even larger threat of not surviving. Because of the victories he achieved, Ferdinand was determined to return the religion in Europe back to how it was 100 years beforehand. He attempted to do that by forbidding Protestantism and demanding all of their land to be returned. This would backfire, however, and results in the Lutherans and Calvinists uniting against him. As a result, the pressure from the Spanish and imperial crown increased. In 1630, the forces of the Swedish king, Gustavus Adolphus, joined the German conflict, and France is willing to fight as well. He joined the conflict due to him wanting to protect his borders, which he could best do by protecting the North German states. An attempt was made to construct an alliance between France and Sweden against Ferdinand. However, this attempt would struggle for a while, which leads to the imperial forces continuing their triumph. After the destruction of the town of Magdeburg, where 40,000 people were slaughtered, the unity of the Protestants would be strengthened even further, and the Swedish king's armies grew to Brandenburg and Saxony, joining him. With this united army, the Allies win a major victory against Ferdinand at Breitenfeld, while the Saxons occupied Prague. The Allies would continue their conquest in order not to lose their advantage and would retake the Lower Palatinate. Next, in 1632, the Swedes plundered Bavaria, which was under the rule of Maximilian, who was the one that benefited most out of the war due to him being neutral with the French and taking the spoils of war later. In the same year, the two armies would meet, and in the Battle of Lutzen, the Swedes would win, but their king would be lost in the battle. The war wasn't over with the Swedish leader's death, but rather it continued through the resumption of the struggle between France and Spain. In 1635, which marked the beginning of the war's final stages, France declares war on Spain despite both not being prepared for a large-scale war. The French first went for the Spanish Netherlands, while the Spanish invaded Paris directly, but got repelled 25 miles before reaching the city. Before long, Spain toppled because of an unstable economy and the revolts of the citizens because of the high prices and taxes. Meanwhile, the Swedes defeated Germany's imperial forces, while the Dutch destroyed most of Spain's Atlantic fleet in 1639, and Portugal regained their independence after resigning from the Union of Crowns. The war ended with the total defeat of Spain, which would take one final gamble by invading France, and in 1643 in the Battle of Rocroi, the French held out and the Spanish officially lost the war. The aftermath of these peace treaties would form the map of Europe for more than a century ahead. The changes in territories were: Sweden gaining territories on the Baltic, France keeping the Lower Palpatine territories, the Dutch gained statehood by being recognized by Spain, Habsburgs controlled both Bohemia and Hungary, Bavaria retained the Upper Palatinate and Brandenburg. All of these conflicts resulted in the deaths of most of the participating countries' rulers, while the new ones wanted peace, which is why in 1648, Spain and the Netherlands concluded the 80 years of warfare, leading to a continent-wide settlement, known as the Peace of Westphalia. Other resolutions were the recognition of the Swiss cantons, the emperor losing almost all influence and power, the weakening of the HRE, the German rulers receiving an independent authority over their states, and the imperial diet was empowered to be the one to settle disputes rather than the emperor.